Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Blair. Today we have a really special video. Today is actually June 30th, 2021, and it is my 2-year YouTube anniversary. So I had the idea a few months ago when this day rolled around. I wanted to recreate my first YouTube video ever, which was an everyday makeup routine, and that's what I did today. I used almost all the exact same products, and I just thought this would be fun, so I hope you guys enjoy this. I even have on the same shirt that I was wearing in my first video. If you're interested in recreating my first YouTube video ever, please keep watching and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Today is a very special video because today, when you're watching this, June 30th is actually my 2-year YouTube anniversary, and I really wanted to recreate my first YouTube video. I posted it June 30th in 2019, and I actually went back and rewatched it a few days ago, and I just really wanted to use these same products. Pretty much everything I'm using are the same from my first video. There are, I think, 2 things I don't have anymore, but I have things that are similar. So my first video ever was an everyday makeup video, and I will link it for you in my description box. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And yeah, I just really wanted to recreate this on my 2-year anniversary. So the first thing that we're going to use is this, and sadly I have discovered that this product is actually discontinued, which makes me really sad because I used to use this all the time, almost on a daily basis when I first started my channel, and it's from It Cosmetics, and it's called the Anti-Aging Armour with SPF 50. I used to, for over a year, I would use this on a daily basis, and sometimes just a little bit of concealer, and that's what I would use. I wouldn't even put foundation over it. It's very similar to the DRMTLGY tinted moisturizer that I use a lot now. I don't have that one right now, I'm out of it, but that is pretty similar to this. But I'm just really sad they don't make this anymore, you guys. So this is really interesting. It's very, very runny, as you can see. But it's SPF 50, and it kind of morphs, not morphs, but it changes and kind of adapts to your skin tone when you put it on. I feel like this was really popular when it came out, so I'm not sure why they would discontinue it. And this is my last tube of it. I was actually afraid I didn't have this anymore because I kind of quit using it. I just started using other things in the last year or so, but I love this stuff. I used it constantly. So I'm not sure why they would discontinue it. This is my last bottle. I actually went through a phase where I love this stuff so much. When I would find it, I would buy like a few bottles of it because I used it every single day. And as you can see, it just kind of, it doesn't cover a ton, but it definitely evens out your skin tone really well. Like you can see, it's so nice. I cannot believe they discontinued this. Maybe they're gonna come out with like a newer version of it. I don't know. It's really nice. I'm trying to think of something else I have that's similar to this. There aren't too many things that I've tried that are like this. One of the things I really like about this formula in particular is it's really thin. Sometimes sunscreens, as I'm sure you know, can be really thick and just kind of feel heavy on your skin, and this one doesn't. It's so thin and lightweight, and it's definitely a little bit luminous on your skin, like you can see, but it's not like a super, super oily sunscreen. Okay, so here is what it looks like, and I'm so sad about this, you guys. I love the way this looks. It is so pretty and natural. It evens out your skin tone. I don't know why they discontinued it, but they did. I will list and link the Dermatology one I was talking about below. I do think it's a little bit thicker in formula than this one from It Cosmetics, but it's similar and it has a similar look on your face. So if you want to try that one, I'll link it down below. The next thing that I used all the time, I don't use this that much anymore just because it's so expensive, but I do really like it, and it's from Colorscience. It's the Total Eye, what is this called? The 3-in-1 Renewal Therapy. It has SPF 35, and I believe it now actually comes in 3 shades. Back when I used this originally, it only came in 1. This original kind of peachy tone, which is good for me because it's a very correcting tone. So I don't want to pump some out and swatch it for you on my hand because this stuff is so expensive. I think it's like $60, maybe $68, somewhere around there. But I do really like it. So I'm just gonna kind of dot it on, and it, like I said, is a peachy tone. So it really helps if you have darkness under your eyes like I do. And it comes out on one of these metal applicators, so it's very cooling. It feels really good on your under eyes. Okay, now I'm just gonna take a brush and just kind of tap this in under my eyes. And you can see, like, it really does a good job of color correcting. It's not the same as like an actual color corrector, but it definitely helps and definitely does help to disguise any blue or purple tones you may have under your eyes. And it's SPF 35, which is really nice. This is kind of a nice thing to have. Like, I've worn mine when I go to the gym sometimes, when I don't want to put on like makeup like concealer, but I do kind of want to hide these lovely dark circles that I have. I will put this on sometimes. Or, you know, if you're just wanting to throw something on really quick, if you're going on a walk or you're going to be outside, it's a nice thing to have, but it's just so expensive. For my everyday foundation, what I used all the time is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. And this has, let's see, this has SPF 20. So I know for a while, a lot of people were saying this was being discontinued, but I don't think that it is. I went online before I started filming this video, and you can get it on Walmart.com. You can get it on Amazon. I will link it for you in the description box, but I use the shade LW2 in this, and this is just a really good lightweight everyday foundation. I would say it's gives about a medium coverage at the most, definitely not a full coverage. And the one thing I always remember about this when I think of it is that it has a very interesting smell, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's very odd, and you kind of get used to it. I actually kind of like it now that I am used to it, but it definitely does have a strange smell. And I'm actually just going to use the same Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to apply this. So like I said, I'll link my first video below for you if you're curious and you want to go watch it. It's so weird 2 years later to watch that video now because I can just tell in my demeanor that I'm just really not uncomfortable, but I just have never filmed myself before, and it's very obvious to me when I go back and watch it. But I really love having that just as a reminder of where I started, and I don't know, I just love YouTube. Is such a crazy thing that you can document things in your life and then go back and kind of revisit those times. It's really cool. So there is that foundation, and one great thing about this is you can build this up. So if you apply some and you want a little more coverage, you definitely can build it up a little bit. I'm just going to leave it how it is, but if you haven't tried this, this is a great drugstore foundation. I would highly, highly recommend it. Okay, so for concealer, you guys may remember if you've been watching me for a while, one of my favorite concealers ever is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage concealer, and I actually don't have it. I used all of mine up and I just haven't gotten around to repurchasing one, and you actually can't buy it in store at Ulta anymore. You used to be able to buy them there, but I think they stopped selling Catrice in store, so you have to order it. Anyway, I need to do that, but I haven't done it. So I have a concealer here that I would say is very similar to the Catrice concealer, and it is from Cover FX. It's the Power Play. The consistency is very similar. It's very, I would say it's a pretty high coverage concealer. I don't know that I would say it's like full coverage, but it gives a decent amount. And just something about the consistency of this really reminds me of the Catrice. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit under my eyes, and then I'm just gonna blend that in with my new favorite concealer brush. This is brand new to my collection, but it's the Sigma F03. I love this for concealer. So another reason I wanted to make this video is to kind of talk about YouTube and just kind of my thoughts on it, and just for anyone maybe watching this that wants to start YouTube, or you've thought about it, maybe you're hesitant for whatever reason. I know how that feels, because I thought about starting YouTube for a few years before I actually did it. It's definitely a scary thing, putting yourself in a pretty vulnerable position, because you're essentially opening yourself up to opinions from other people. Sometimes, most of the time, they're unwanted opinions. Sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're not. For me, it's been so worth it. It's one of those things that I can't imagine now not doing YouTube. It's just something that, for whatever reason, feels very natural to me, and it's definitely a creative outlet for me, and just something I look forward to doing. I just look forward to sitting here always and filming. It's just, I don't know, if you film videos, then you probably know what I mean. It's just something about it. It's just so fun to me, and I just love makeup, obviously, and I don't know. My point being, if you want to do YouTube, or you have something else that you are really passionate about and you just think about it constantly, and maybe you're scared or you're hesitant or you're afraid of what other people will think, don't be. Do it because you want to do it. Don't let someone keep you from doing something because you're scared, is what I'm trying to say. Because I definitely have been there, and I'm so glad that I didn't let being scared or hesitant keep me from starting in the first place. Okay, next, in my video, applied a little bit of powder, and I used the Mercier translucent powder. I actually don't have that powder anymore, and the closest thing that I have is this one from Milk. This is the Blur and Set Matte Loose Setting Powder. This is the closest thing in my collection to the Mercier powder. It's very similar. This one is in the shade Light, whereas the Mercier one does not come in shades. Well, actually it does. It comes in translucent and then a deep shade, I think. But this Milk one comes in 3 or 4 shades. So this one has like a little sifter on it, and that's how the powder comes out, which I don't really love that, to be honest. I am just gonna quickly apply a little bit of this under my eyes. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a little bit on a bigger brush and just lightly go over my face. The sunscreen and the Healthy Foundation are definitely a little bit on the dewy side. So I do just want to very lightly set my face. Moving on, next to bronzer. I still have this bronzer. I still love it. I used my Nars Laguna bronzer, one of my favorites of all time, as you can see. And still, to this day, I use this all the time. I mean, look at the color of this bronzer. This is what I'm always obsessed with Nars Laguna. Like, something about the tone of it is just perfect for me. Something else I was gonna mention, it's kind of funny. So my first video was actually filmed on my iPhone. Actually, the first, like, almost first year on YouTube, all of my videos were filmed on an iPhone 7. So I am definitely proof that you do not need to have any equipment or anything like that to start YouTube. If you want to film videos, just use your phone. Because mine, yes, was filmed on an iPhone 7. I used a stack of books and a candle holder for a tripod, and I did that for quite a while before I got anything to use for my videos, so it's kind of funny. Okay, for a blush, I used, again, from Nars Orgasm. This is actually a new one that I just got. This is not my original, but this is actually the jumbo size that they just came out with recently. But this, such a classic blush. I will always have one of these in my collection. Just apply some of this. This is one of those blushes that I know people said this forever, but it really is true. This blush would look good on anybody, I'm convinced. It's just something about the tone of it is just perfect. I love it. I'm gonna bring some on my nose. I don't think I used to do that. Actually, I know I didn't do that, but. And next we will move on to the eyebrows. So I used to use this pretty much exclusively for a brow gel. It's the Benefit Gimme Brow. I do not use this anymore. Not because I don't like it, but it is not better than the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I use this constantly. I've shared that so many times, but I do have a mini of the Benefit one, so I figured I would use it in this video. Let's see, what color is this? Kind of worn off. I think this is number 3. I got this in a kit one time. And this is definitely a good brow gel, but it's not worth, in my opinion, $28, $30. I can't even remember. I would totally recommend e.l.f. Wow Brow, but since I have it, I just wanted to use it. So I'm just kind of brushing them upward. So there is the brow gel. It's really nice, but like I said, I would definitely recommend the e.l.f. Wow Brow over this one. Something I did want to do real quickly, I did not do this in my first video, but I feel like it makes a big difference. I'm going to quickly fill in just a little bit with my NYX Micro Brow, mainly just in like this area, kind of on both sides where I have like a bald spot on my brows. So I'm just gonna kind of extend the tail out a little bit and then like very, very lightly fill in anywhere where I have like major gaps. So I think that's all I'm gonna do. And then I will just quickly kind of go through them again with my spoolie. For my eyes, I did very, very little on my eyes in my video. So I went in with this. This is by Bare Minerals. It's one of the Gen Nude eyeshadows. Well, it's actually called an eyeshadow and a primer. I used to use this all the time. I don't use it as much anymore because I've just tried other things. But I do really like this just to even out your eyelids if you have like veiny eyelids like I do, or just any discoloration in general. This works really well. And this is in the shade Exposed. So I'm just gonna quickly blend this in all over my eye, and you'll see it just really kind of like putting concealer on your eyes, but this is made for the eye, so it's a shadow and a primer. So you guys have to let me know. I think I've asked this question before, but I'm always curious to know how long you've been watching my videos and if you've seen my first video ever. And if you haven't, you should definitely go watch it. Yeah, I remember I talked about starting YouTube for a while before I actually did it, and I don't know what made me start or upload on this particular day, but I just remember I was home alone. I think it was a Saturday or a Sunday. I was home by myself, and I remember I woke up, I had a cup of coffee, and I just thought, you know what? I am going to get my phone and film a video, and I'm going to teach myself to edit it. I had a MacBook at the time, an older MacBook, and it had iMovie on it, and I did it. I sat down and filmed it, and I just thought, you know what, if I can't stand to watch myself, or it's that bad, I don't have to do anything with it, but it's not gonna hurt me just to try and see what happens. And it was the weirdest thing. I remember when I filmed the video, I thought I was gonna have like this really weird feeling, like it was gonna feel really unnatural and just really awkward for me, but it was kind of weird. Like it did feel awkward, but not really. Like it kind of felt like uncomfortable just because I'd never done it before, but not uncomfortable like I shouldn't be doing this uncomfortable, if that makes sense. It was just something that kind of came naturally to me. I don't know. That probably doesn't make sense, but that's kind of how it felt. Then I went in with this. I still have this. I still love this palette. This is the Naked 2 Basics palette from Urban Decay. And I believe I went in with a mixture of these two light shades in here. And so one is Skimp and one is Stark. And I just set that Bare Minerals primer that we put down. This is random, but I just thought of it when I looked at this palette. Did you guys see the new Urban Decay mini? I think it's the Naked 3. And it seems like a lot of people, just based on comments I've seen, are not excited about it, but I actually thought that palette looked really pretty and cute. But yeah, let me know if you saw that on Instagram. And that's all I did. I didn't use any of the darker shades in this palette, but still love this and would definitely recommend it. And the only other thing I did on my eyes in terms of eyeshadow is I took my Nars Laguna bronzer. I used to use this every single day as my eyeshadow, and I just put a little bit in my crease. To me, not only is this a perfect shade of bronzer, it's also the perfect bronzer for your eyes because it's so natural and just such a good neutral shade. So that's all I did for eyeshadow. So that's all we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna curl my lashes. I still use the same eyelash curler from Surat Beauty. For mascara, I used the Benefit Roller Lash. This has been a favorite for years. It still is. I still pretty much always have a tube of it. It's just one of my favorite lengthening mascaras. So that's one coat of this mascara. I still love it. It's definitely more for length than volume, but it's just a really good one. Good separating, lengthening mascara. Okay, so there is the top lash mascara, and I actually used to use a separate bottom lash mascara. I haven't done this in a while, but I actually have a new tube of the mascara I used to use all the time on my lower lashes, and it's by MAC. It's the Extended Play Gigablack Lash Mascara, and this is so good. It's good for your top lashes too, but I just feel like this is the best for your bottom lashes because the wand is so tiny. Yeah, I need to use this more often. I forgot how good this is for your bottom lashes. Okay, and last but not least, for the lips, I only used this, and this is by Nars. It's the Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Orgasm. I also used to use this on a daily basis. I still really like it. I've just tried different things. But as you can see, it just gives your lips a little bit of the pinky Orgasm tint. Really like these. They come in tons of different shades now, but when that first came out, this was the original shade, and I used it all the time. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and like I said, I will link my first video in the description box. If you're curious, you can go and watch it. But I did want to close this video out by thanking you for supporting me and watching my videos and subscribing the past 2 years. I'm just really proud of this channel, and I don't know, it just makes me really happy that I did something that I wanted to do for the longest time, and it's turned into something that I love so much. So I want to thank you guys for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. I can't wait to see what the future brings to me and this channel, and I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you here, and definitely go follow me on Instagram at simply.blair. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.
Sunday morning, waking up with you. We got no plans, we got